The name of the story is The Eggs. Mr. Sun whispered a sweet good morning to Cock-a-doodle Tong as he yawned lazily. It wasn't going to be a great day, thought Mr. Sun. In Cock-a-doodle Tong, Mr. Rooster was up ready to do his daily chores. He began by awakening the people from the tongue. Cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo, went his voice as he sadly remembered that Mrs. Hen was no longer with him. He had told the Boo Peeps that Mrs. Hen had won a trip to a faraway land. In the house of Mr. Rooster laid 5 little Boo Peeps fast asleep. Get up, said Mr. Rooster as he flapped his wings to wake them up. Today will be a heavy day. The sun doesn't seem well, so probably Mr. Rain will take over, he said as he busily started changing the Boo Peeps. Sally was the oldest of the Boo Peeps, a very jovial and loving sister. Nevertheless, she had one weakness. She never took things serious. JR was the youngest of the Peeps. He was sad and missed Mama, but tried to help in all he could. Mr. Hen spoke to Sally. The eggs that are in the barnyard need lots of care. I would like you to bring them in as soon as you finish your breakfast, he said in a firm tone of voice. Sally nodded her head and hurried to the room. JR was close by, so he hugged Mr. Rooster a sweet goodbye. The sun shone bright and warm on them. Ah, what a beautiful day, exclaimed Sally. The little Boo Peeps peeped behind. At home, JR was busily crossing the eggs one by one. He was too small though, so he was getting tired. He struggled in and out until he crossed the last egg. He thought he would go and meet the rest, so Sally wouldn't be mad. But he was too tired that he fell asleep beside the eggs. Sally and the Peeps were having fun, when suddenly Sally felt a cold drop on her forehead. Oh no, the egg, she cried. The rain started coming down and Sally was trapped with the Peeps under a shed. Sally was crying sadly. The eggs will be washed out and Mr. Rooster will be sad. She thought so many things that she hadn't seen that JR was missing. The rain ceased and she was afraid to go home, but the Peeps were hungry. Heartbrokenly, she walked towards home. She sent the Peeps home and hurried to the barn. The eggs, she cried. The eggs were not there. She fell to her knees and wept dearly. Suddenly, the barn door squealed as it was opened. Sally didn't remove her hands from her face. She knew Dad would be mad. She felt a gentle touch as Dad spoke. Sally dear, you did 2 wrong things today. You disobeyed my petition and you were irresponsible. Sally was too ashamed to look at her dad, worse to answer. Nevertheless, Dad continued, today you will learn a lesson. Your little brother JR stayed behind and he did it. He has shown that it is very important to obey and to be responsible. Sally opened her eyes wide open. How could she have forgotten JR behind? What if something happened to him? Boo boo, went Sally louder. Dad held her beak up and looked lovingly to her. Daughter, JR saved the eggs, and as of today, you will be responsible and obedient, smiled Dad. I do, cried Sally. I'll never be disobedient and I'll be responsible because my decision could have been disastrous. Both Sally and Dad walked home, hugging each other. Dad knew Sally had learned a lesson, and Sally knew the importance of obeying and being responsible. The end. Alright class, so remember that it is important for you to read with expression when you're reading a story, because when you read with expression, you allow the listener or the audience to understand exactly what the words that you are reading mean. For example, you can have the audience know if a character is sad, mad, if the character is happy by just you reading with expression. So remember that when you read, you need to read with expression, just as I did in the story.
Alright class, so now that we have read the story, I want you to go back to your prediction that you wrote at the beginning, and I want you to check if the prediction was close, if it was correct or close to what the story is about. Alright, so how many of you enjoyed this story? Very good. But in this story, we have a few new words. And I want you to find or identify a word that is new to you. When you have done that, I want you to send the word to me via WhatsApp. Alright guys, thank you very much for sending your words via WhatsApp. And thank you for participating. Today we are going to be discussing 5 new words. The first one is jovial. Jovial. Let's read it together. Jovial. Let's read it one more time. Jovial. Now, let's see how the word jovial is used in the sentence in the story. Here we have the first sentence. Sally was a very jovial and loving sister. Let's read it one more time. Sally was a very jovial and loving sister. How is the word jovial used in the sentence? Very good. Jovial is telling us what type of person Sally is. A jovial and loving sister. Loving sister. Here the word jovial means that you are friendly. Means that you are friendly, you're in a good mood or happy. Therefore, Sally is a very friendly person. So when we read the sentence, we can understand that Sally is a friendly and loving sister. How many of you are a jovial person? Friendly like Sally, or always in a good mood? Alright, very good. Let's read the sentence one more time. Sally was a very jovial and loving sister. Jovial means friendly or in a good mood. Alright, let's move on to the second word. Seized. Repeat that again. Seized. Let's look at how the word is used in the sentence from the story. The rain ceased and she went home. Let's read it one more time. The rain ceased and she went home. How is this word used in the sentence? What is it telling us? It is showing us an action. It's telling us an action. Something that the rain did. What do you think that the rain did? And she was able to go home. Very good. It stopped. It stopped. So the rain stopped and she went home. The rain ceased and she went home. So the word ceased means to bring an action to an end. Right? So let's read the sentence one more time. The rain ceased and she went home. Very good guys, you're doing a good job. Let's move on to the third word. Squealed. Repeat it. Squealed. Let's look at how the word is used in the sentence. The barn door squealed as it was open. One more time. The barn door squealed as it was open. How is the word squealed used in the sentence? It is telling us that the barn door did something when it was open. So therefore, it is showing us an action, right? So what action do you think that the barn door did when you open it? Very good. It squealed. And squeal means that it has a sharp, high or a sharp high-pitched sound, right? How many of you have opened a door and you hear the door go, right? That means that it squealed. Squealed. The barn door squealed as it was open. Squealed is a sharp, high-pitched sound. Alright, let's move on to the fourth word. Petition. Let's read it again. Petition. One more time. Petition. Alright, let's look at the word in the sentence. You disobeyed my petition. Let's read it again. You disobeyed my petition. The word petition here, who is it used? My petition. My petition here is used as a noun. Alright, so my petition here is used as a noun. So here it says you disobeyed my petition. What does the word petition mean? My petition, something that I requested, right? It's a request that is a request of something that is desired, right? So the word petition is a request for something that is desired. You ask a petition for something, you request something. So you disobeyed my petition, my request. Very good. Let's move on to the fifth word. Exclaim. Let's read it again. Exclaim. What a beautiful day! Exclaimed Sally. Let's read that one more time. What a beautiful day! Exclaimed Sally. So how is the word exclaim being used in the sentence? What is the word exclaim doing? It's doing an action, right? So exclaim here is doing an action. The word exclaim here means that a cry, a loud cry with emotions, or a loud noise that is being done with emotions. What a beautiful day! Here you're using emotions, right? So you have a loud song, a loud cry with emotions. For example, you see something beautiful and you say, wow, that is beautiful. Emotions. A loud cry but with emotions. Very good, very good. So I want you to read these words one more time over with me. First one is jovial. Jovial. The second one is seized. Seized. Third one is squealed. Squealed. The fourth one is petition. Petition. And the last one is exclaim. Very good. Now I want you to take a look at something here before we leave. But first of all, I want to ask you this question. Who was Sally in the story? Who was Sally in the story? Very good. She was a chick. Yes, she was the oldest. But what was she to JR? Great. She was his sister. And we are going to take a look at this word here. Sister. Sister. We are going to be learning 3 new songs today. But before doing that, I want you to take a look at the video that we're going to have next. And I want you to pay keen attention to the video. I hope that you enjoy it. See you! Alright class, today we're going to be learning about R control. R! I'm just an R. And I'm just minding my own business. R! And then suddenly comes along my friend. And alone, what song do you make? A. Are you sure? Because I'm Bossy R and I control your song. R. When we're all alone, when we're together, what sound do we make? R. Hey, get along. I'm just an R, all by myself. All by myself. I'm just an R. And then my friend comes along. What sound do you make when you're all alone? Eh. R. That's the sound that you will make because I'm Bossy R. And together we make the sound R. Hey, get along. I'm just an R. I'm Bossy R. I'm Bossy R. And then my friend. What song do you make when you're all alone? Oh, are you sure? Because I'm Bossy. I'm a controlling sound, and I make this song. And together we make the song. Alright. I'm an R. I'm Bossy R. And when I'm with a vowel, I control the song. Alright guys, so how many of you enjoyed the video? I'm sure you enjoyed it because I enjoyed making that video. I had a lot of fun. And I'm pretty sure that it was easy for you to follow the songs. So, we're going to be learning a little more about the R controlled vowels. What is the sound that Mr. Bossy R do? Let's do it. Alright, so here we have 3 new R controlled vowels that we are going to be discussing today. The first one is with an E. We don't say the sound eh or E here, we say Remember that Mr. Bossy R is a controlling sound. So he takes over of the vowel sound here and it makes R. The second one here, we have the vowel I. And when the I is alone, it makes the short sound I or the long sound I. But when it is with with Mr. Bossy R, he takes control of the sound and therefore it makes R. And the third one, we have the vowel U. When Mr. Bossy R decides to take control of the sound, he makes the sound R. So the 3 of them here are 3 new R controlled vowels. What can you tell me of those 3 new R controlled vowels? Very good. 3 of them have the same sound. R. Let's say it together, like the parrot does. R. Very good. So when the vowels E, I, or U are next to an R, Mr. Bossy R. They do not say their short or long sounds. They say, very good, Alright, so let's take a look at some examples of the 3 R controlled vowels. Here, the first one, with the vowel E, we have rooster. Let's repeat it. Rooster. And we can see here that we have the R controlled vowel. The second one, we have alert. We can see here the R controlled vowel. And the third one, we have clerk. Let's repeat it. Clerk. We have the R controlled vowel there. So these are 3 examples of the R controlled vowel In the second R controlled vowel we have swirl, and we have the R controlled vowel here. The second one, we have dirt. Repeat it. Dirt. We have the R controlled vowel here. And the third one, we have chirp. Say it one more time. Chirp. So the three of them make the sound er. Let's move on to the third R controlled vowel with the U. So we have hurt, hurt, hurt. The second one is surprise, surprise. And we have the R controlled vowel here. The other one we have nurse, nurse. Let's repeat it. Nurse. Very good. And these are the three R controlled vowels. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson, and I'm looking forward for your participation on the engagement that I will be uploading via Google, and I'll be sending through WhatsApp as well. See you guys.
Alright, so for the phonics engagement, I have activity 1. Demonstrate your understanding of 1 to 4 vocabulary words by placing them into categories. Teacher will provide students with 2 specific categories, emotions and actions, or like feeling and actions. Then have students list all of the words they know that could fit into that category. So they're going to be using their vocabulary words, and here we have evidence 1. She placed her vocabulary words under these categories: jovial under feeling, exclaimed under feeling, squealed under action. Here we can see that she has misspelled the word. Seize, petition. So here I would have to make corrections of this misspelled word. And for the differentiation, they were only to place 2 vocabulary words under the category. So here he placed jovial and seize. So now I am going to ask them why they chose to put the word under that specific category, and this is what I got.
Jovial shows someone happy.
Okay, so she said that jovial shows someone happy, therefore happy is a feeling, and that is why she placed it under that category. Let's listen to her other explanation.
This means to stop.
Alright, so here she said that seize means to stop, therefore seize is an action, and that is why she placed it under action. So this was her response, which I think was pretty cool, because from her response I was able to notice that she did understand her vocabulary words. For activity 2, teacher will upload activity in Google Class and will provide a learning package. Have students apply knowledge of R controlled vowels to write 1 to 8 words using the correct spelling. Alright, so here I have Sol. They were given the option that they can print or write on folder sheet. So here's her work. I did not provide the spelling words to her, so she here spelled the words without any help of word bank using the R controlled vowels. She had to write 2 sentences using these words, or some IRUR or ER words, of your own. The burger was nice. I have a pink purse. So this was her work. Now for the differentiation, I gave them less. The first set, they had 9 spelling words here and words that they would have to spell, and he did 6, and I helped them with the word bank. So here he completed his work and he had to write 1 sentence using the R controlled vowel. The turtle moves slow. Alright, for the exploration, I had students think, how would not knowing R controlled vowels affect them in their lives, right? Because I wanted them to understand that learning R controlled vowels was very important. So I made the question, and well, this is a response that I received.
I wouldn't be able to read like I'm doing right now.
Alright, so she explained that if she did not know R controlled vowels, she would not be able to read as she is reading right now. So therefore, not knowing R control vowels would affect her reading. So let's move on to the misconception. I usually would ask them to send me a question. For this week, I didn't get much response since it was the last week, but I did get this one, which was a good one.
Why does the ER, IR, UR control vowels have the same sound?
So he wants to know, why does the ER, IR, UR control vowels have the same sound? Which is a pretty good question, because definitely they would want to know why, if they are three different vowels, right? So then I explained that the vowel plus the R syllable, also known as the R controlled, and when I presented it as Mr. Bassi R, is a syllable that has a vowel sound that is controlled by the letter R, making it into one sound. I told them that we had already discussed two of those R control songs, which was R, the AR, on the previous week. So that was one song, and this week we had So the explanation was that the R control, Mr. Bassi R, is a very controlling song. So when that R control is after the vowel, it takes control over the song of the vowel. Therefore, the IR, UR, and the ER have the same song, because Mr. Bassi R takes over their song and it makes it into one sound, which is for the IR, UR, and ER. And in the previous week, when we had the AR, it was the song R. So I told them that these are the two different songs that Mr. Bassi R makes, because he's a controlling song. We will be discussing about one more, which is the OR, but that will be for when school reopens. So yeah, they wanted to know why it had the same song. So I believe that was a pretty good question. And for my closure, I have students identify words with the R control vowel song using online game. Have students choose one word with the R control vowel song and the vocabulary word jovial to write a sentence of their own. So I uploaded the link on Google Class, and I shared it on WhatsApp of a game where they were going to identify the R control vowel. They were going to identify words with R control vowel song and after playing that game, they were going to write a sentence. So what I did, I had them write the sentence and orally read the sentence for me. So next I have the evidence of that.
The jovial man has dirt on his shirt.